All right, hey y'all. So I've had a couple people ask questions about the way I put handles on the mugs. So like these guys, and I'm doing about 100 of them today. So I thought I would make a quick video on the way I do it. Maybe might be able to help some of y'all out. So let me throw this guy up here. So there are a number of different ways to make handles. Some people use an extruder, which I don't do it. I learned to do it probably the oldest way, which is by pulling lugs out and then attaching them onto the mugs. So I've got these four here. So I'll do these guys real quick. So I start with a piece of clay like so, and you'll have to trust me, my water bucket's right here. So I'm gonna actually wet my hand down, and basically I'm gonna pull through the shape to get a thick piece of clay going here. So I'll twist it like this, hold the top part, and then like so, I'm gonna be pulling this out. So what I don't want to do is, and I see my students do really often here in the studio, is they pull it too thin too early. So what I want to do is get this really out here and not too narrow either. So you see how I keep turning it? If you turn it, then you can keep it even. Okay, so right there, you see how thick that is? Not thin actually at all. So there's a way to do it called pre-pulling, which that's where you really thin it out, then let them dry up a little bit. You actually cut an angle up here. It always looks funky. I was taught that in college also, but this is the way that works best for me. So I'll cut my four pieces. I take it, I kind of pop it down on the table, usually once. What that does is it thickens that top end up just a little bit. So it kind of keeps you from getting the weird spot. And the weird spot is when you're pulling on it, you're putting so much force down here that it creates this little thin place right up here at the top. The most annoying thing in handles. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of splay that into like a little ellipse shape. And then I have my slip here. And what I do with my slip is I always mix in just a little bit of toilet paper with it and a little bit of sodium silicate, just a tiny bit. Let it sit overnight, and I just kind of keep the batch going, and it gets it really nice. So I'll butter this up. Well, that's what I call it. And then I'll put this finger right here, the left hand on the other side of the handle. Watch, I'm gonna push in and kind of rock it. Now you want it to just stay just like that. Now, some of y'all are gonna notice that I'm not scoring anything. That is because if you catch it at the right time, you don't have to score. And if the slip's pretty good, you don't have to either. The only time I'll ever score anything actually is if the rims have kind of started to change color a little bit. Where I live here in Texas is a little dry, which is kind of a blessing and a curse all at the same time. Okay, so you see how they look now? They look horrible. That's good. So now I'm gonna hold it right here in front of me, looking directly into it. That's how you keep it straight. I start back here by smoothing that gap. Now I kind of turn around the front. That welds it on. Now I'm gonna pull it out. This is how you get the handles to actually look like they're growing out of the pot. Now, if you want a rounder handle, then you just take your hand into it, you make a little circle. If you want it to go wider, then you might use your fingers like this. There's a way to splay it out, but see, I'm gonna get them out there. Slip it up, grab the tail here, and instead of taking the handle to the pot, you turn the pot to meet the handle. See? Now I'm gonna kind of smash that on there, but I'm not gonna obliterate the bottom of it. Pull that off, and I'll show you how to fix it here in a sec. But usually when I'm working, I'll do 10 or 12 at a time. Knock them out that way, but since we're doing this video, I've decided 4, just because no telling if somebody's gonna walk in the shop here in a sec. So we'll keep going. The biggest thing is you just gotta be patient. It takes lots of practice. So I was taught how to do this in college, and I just was really determined to get good at it because my handle critiques were really pretty gnarly. I was told the truth about it, that they were the worst handles he had seen in 35 years or something. It was great, good training. So I'm gonna pull that out and see, basically what I'm doing is I'm tapering. So I'm using my thumb here. And so I come down this side and I hit over here, and that hides the thickness in the middle. The other thing that I really personally don't like on handles is when they're too thin, they feel fragile, very, very fragile. You don't want that. Because see, it's already gonna shrink like 10 or 12% in the kiln. So if it's already thin, super thin right now, then you're gonna have problems. Or you'll have edges chipping on your handles and customers calling you about that. Pull this out. It is an absolutely beautiful day here today on Route 66. I am really ready for summer to get here. It's been kind of cold lately in the 20s. I shouldn't complain because someone came in from Manitoba the other day and said it was, you know, their thermometer goes to -30 or something. So, okay, so now I'm gonna take this. You see how the end kind of looks rough here. There are a few different things you can do to it, but what I do is I take my sponge and I kind of round that over because I like making a line down here. There. And then I kind of tuck that up a little. When I tuck it up, it squirts the slip out right there, so you gotta kind of hit that, or else someone's gonna think it's a crack. Run around it. Then I wet my thumb down, and this is a trick I learned from a Mick Casson book years ago. Wet the thumb down, go here, and you kind of sweep this up just a little bit. There, that's all you need. And just run down the line. Up. But you don't want to hip it up too much, or else you get a hitch. So this is generally, I mean, you'll see if you're trying to practice handles and you notice a weird thin spot near the top right here, where it kind of goes thicker and then gets thinner and then thick again. That's the dreaded weird spot of handles, and you need to rip it off and do it again. So in my very first handle critique, my professor, I thought I was so good at handles, and he came out and said, that, man, you got the weird spot on everything. I had no clue what the weird spot was. I never even heard that term before, but I found out real quick what the weird spot is. The dreaded weird spot. All right, there we go. So then you can go in here and put your stamp on it, or I hope you have a stamp. That'd be cool. So yeah. So there you go. I hope that helps. People have been asking about the way I make handles, and so y'all have a great day.